Insights with Terri Ep.133 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.133. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.133. Thank you for joining me this week of August the 14th through the 20th, 2023. I've made a decision. I am going to start incorporating a little bit more I'm going to say talk about our animals, how the planets affect our animals, what to look forward to as far as how they're going to be reacting to some of the pressures and maybe lack thereof that's on us and on them astronomically, gastronomically. So I'm going to include our pets in these little mini sessions. As well as talking about us. So we're all going to be one happy family, hopefully. So let's begin by where are the planets right now? How are they going to affect us? And how are they going to affect our little furry creatures? Leo, the planet Sun, is the ruling planet of Leo. And that is a very shiny, warm kind of energy. It's fiery. The sun is fiery. So we have this real fiery type of energy field above us right now. So we may find ourselves feeling like we want to shine and feel very comfortable with somebody giving us praise, maybe not outwardly, but inside, just, ooh, that feels so good when people say that I'm a nice person or that I did that well. And our animals are no different than that. So this is an amazing week for all of us to take that shiny spot. And maybe you can pass that on to your, let's say, your dog. Dogs like to feel good about themselves too, as do all animals. All mammals like to feel good about themselves. It's innate in us. So this would be a terrific week for training our animals, getting them to feel good about themselves while they're learning something. So my experience has been in training dogs that most of the dogs that come, not all of them, but most of them come, and they come with behavior problems or they wouldn't be here in the beginning anyway. Later they come just because they're having fun enjoying the farm. But they don't make eye contact with their owners, and there's a trick to that. And so I use, if they're a food motivated dog, you've got it made in the shade. If they're not, then you have to work a little bit harder at it. So I will take that piece of food maybe while they're still hungry in the morning or just before they have their supper at night or through the day when they want to have a little snack. I might show it to them initially. So initially I'm bribing, but later on it's rewarding. And there's a very different psychological effect from staying and bribing, where the dog, if he's not hungry and doesn't want it, he's not going to listen, to going to reward, which is please do this for me, and then I'll make sure that you're taken care of. So I start with, I'll have the food in my mouth, I'll wave it in front of the dog's nose, he looks at my hand usually, well, I'll take that at the beginning and give him a little piece of his kibble that I've held back from his supper. And then I'll walk someplace else, and holy cow, the dog just followed me. Then he looks at me again. Bang, he gets the kibble again. And I walk another place. It doesn't have to be far, 2-3 steps. I walk another place. And he gets, wow, I'll follow her and get another cookie. So they keep doing that, which is what I'm doing is I'm teaching them to manipulate me. They want that kibble, and I want them to look at me. So to get that kibble, you now are responsible for getting the kibble and manipulating me, and then I'll give you the kibble, which really is getting them to do what you want them to do without having to say, sit down, and force them into it. I want them to make a decision to do what I'm asking them to do without asking, letting them figure it out. Use your brain. Now, that Leo energy that's above us will really help this with both our family, our friends, and our animals. So we could use this even in relationships. If you like a behavior that somebody is doing for you, with you, make sure that you let them shine. Make sure that you bring it to their attention. Let them feel good about it. This energy is for that. And then Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, is in Virgo. Now, that's going to go retrograde on the 24th of this month, and I want you to prepare. Retrograde is what it sounds like. It goes backwards. Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, it processes slower, so we may make more mistakes. So I'm really cautious driving. I know people may make mistakes during this time, and I don't want to be part of their mistake. So I'll drive with caution. I will also make sure that things that are important for me, that are done by myself or other people for me, there's no mistake in the communication. We understand each other. I might call my clients and just reaffirm that the appointment is at this time to make sure we had the same conversation. And you do that with the animals. Make sure that you're not letting bad habits go unnoticed. So, for instance, I've got 15 dogs. I have a multitude of ducks, excuse me, chickens, cats. I'll stop there. Plus a fauna of wild animals around here that seem to approach. So I will reward behavior that I want to keep going, and I will ignore, which is called behavior extinguishing, if I want it to go away. Now, sometimes it needs more than just ignoring, but you decide at first. We're just teaching right now. So, for instance, if my dogs bust through the gate when I open the gate and all 50 of them run, I don't want that. The ones that hang back are going to be the ones that get the cookies. Now, the ones that busted through the gates, I can yell and scream and bad dog and all that. But then they look and they say, wait a minute. The ones that stayed with her are getting food. And I make sure it's good food, like chicken or beef or steak or Montreal corned beef. Little tiny pieces. Sometimes they just get to lick my fingers. And then they come back right away instead of barking and running all over the lawn. And then I'll do it again and again and again. And pretty soon I open the gate and nobody leaves. Now I will start using words. Now I will start saying, wait, I open the gate, I step back, and everybody gets their cookies. And then I might sprinkle some on the ground so they slowly go through the gate one at a time. Then I might say their name. So I progressively get to where I want to go, which is open gate does not mean you bust through. One dog goes through at a time, and the one that I call their name is the one that goes through. Everybody else has to wait. That's complicated. And I can do it with force, or I can try to do it with letting them learn. And with this Leo energy and the Virgo in Mercury, it's not retrograde yet. This is a great time to teach. If your husband comes home on time, maybe, or your wife, maybe have something good for them to make them want to come home. So this is a great time to reinforce good behavior. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, is in Leo. It's going retrograde. That is not the best time for relationships. So we are going to be delving into past patterns, what got us here, what kind of thinking, what did we do to land us in this spot? Because we're responsible too. It's not everybody's fault all the time. Maybe it's our fault as well, or maybe we contributed to it, or maybe we inadvertently made it continue by certain behaviors. I will hear people say to me, yeah, my dog used to retrieve the ball all the time. He'd go get it and retrieve it. Now he doesn't. Now he just runs away with it. Well, they did something that stopped the dog from retrieving, and they're not willing to look at their behavior. So we have to look at that. So we have to look at our relationships, and we can look at the animal's behavior too. What did I do to make this happen? What did I do to make my dog ignore me? What did I do to make the dog listen to me when it's quiet, but not when everything is going on and it's chaos? How do I become leader of this little family that I have here, fur and two-legged? Great time to look at that. And Mars, the planet of our drive, our passion, is in Virgo. This is an amazing time to figure these things out. Virgo loves to figure this energy out. Virgo loves to find answers. Virgo wants to know why. How did this happen? How can I prevent it? How can I encourage it? Virgo's amazing for that kind of thing. This is a great time to take that and use it. We have some really good energy coming up here. Now, the beginning of the week, we may have some, if you're vulnerable or your animals are vulnerable in heart area, because some have myocarditis or they just have heart issues. Some we know and some we don't know. If you do, take care of that little organ. This is a vulnerable time till about the end of the week. So if you have any issues or your pets have any issues with that, just in that organ, you take care of that. But the heart is more than just an organ. The heart is how we feel. The heart is our emotional state. So we may take a chance and look at that and say, where am I hurting? What type of behavior am I doing to somebody else to hurt them, or vice versa? Good time to start to look at that. We have a new moon on Wednesday, and the moon is in Leo. This is just perfect. New behaviors, new ways of thinking, creating new talents, new approaches to life. This is a brand new start, and if you jump on it, we're going to be good to go with that. And then towards the end of the week, watch your tummy. Our tummies could be a little bit more sensitive. If you have pancreatic issues, if your dog does, be really careful with fat or fatty foods with your dogs around this time. They may not be able to switch dog foods as easily, or their food, cat food, horse food, goat food, our food. So just make sure that you really take care of your tummy. Your tummy's not going to be in a strong place towards the end of the week. And if you have any issues with kidneys or bladder, your dog does, maybe prone to kidney issues. If the dogs are licking themselves overly, sometimes they're paying attention to a body part, and it could be a bladder infection. And this area here is really prone to bladder infections. Keep an eye on that. They're trying to tell you something. The number 2 came up for us this week, and that's tolerant and kind. Number 2 is a really good energy for us to be tolerant, patient, teach our kids, our fur kids, our people kids, our friends with tolerance, kindness. Our intuition will be really good when you pair the number 2 with where the planets are right now. Trust your intuition. This can be a perfect time to be able to listen to others, to be patient, to learn the art of diplomacy, both from our dogs, because they're diplomatic with us 90% of the time. We don't think so, but we're not observing correctly. And we've lost it with each other when you just listen to the news. It may be that we can lack courage to implement some of our plans, and we might leave that initiative to other people. Just remember, we have the sun above us right now, and sun is the lion. So take that courage, use that courage, stand up for what's right, stand up for what's wrong. Make your voice heard in an intelligent way. With that Virgo in Mars, we can understand what's real and what's not real and sort it out. We would like devotion when the sun is above us like that. We want to be loved. We want to be admired. We want to be. So do our dogs. So do our friends. So do our horses. So do our goats. So do our people. So admire. And if they want to admire you, let them. This is a great time for that. Really good time for that. The ability to reconcile with people that we've had a dispute and successfully cooperate with other people, and that person is here for us now. Let's use it. There's a lot of disputes out there. I've experienced them myself, and it's because of the retrogrades to get us to dig up things so that we can learn from them, grow from them, and be better. So this is what we are supposed to be doing right now. Do it. The weakness of number 2 with the planets right now is clinging to our property, clinging to our bad ideas, clinging to our bad habits, being bothered by small problems, being passive, giving in to circumstances that are not right. So beware of hypersensitivity both in our dogs and our people, and becoming distracted and nervous. So watch your animals. They'll tell you what's going on in the family. They always tell me what kind of a mood I'm in or what's going on in my brain without me even being aware of it. I would like to take this moment to thank sincerely Charlie O'Brien for putting us on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, on Amazon, on SoundCloud, and YouTube. When he gives me the link, I put that on Facebook, and he also has archived some of the past podcasts, 3 or 4 or 5, on the website that he created. That's Charlie O'Brien, www.terriworld.com. And if you would like an appointment for yourself or your animal or both, you are absolutely welcome to text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coots, COUTTS, @gmail.com, or you can just Google me. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Charlie, for getting this out to everybody. You have fun this week. Enjoy that. Do some training with your animals. Look for that eye contact. All right. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.